Starting something new can feel big and scary and lead to the dreaded information overload. Howdy and welcome to the Big Brain Hotshot Show, where we help younglings like you get healthy and fit, develop artistic and culinary skills, and most importantly, help you learn to use that big old brain of yours. I am your host, the one and only Mr. Gabe, and it is a great day in the United States where I am, and it just got even better because now you're here. We are going to have tons of fun today, but before we do, let's take a moment to reveal our word of the day: start. Human beings can do some pretty cool things. I've seen rock stars shred on guitars in front of thousands of people, and I've seen athletes run faster than most people can even dream of, as just a couple examples of cool things. Here's an adult secret straight from Mr. Gabe to you. Every person who has done something really cool has two things in common. First, they are a human being who, at one point, was a young hotshot, just like you are now. Two, every person who got really good at something had a first day where they decided they were going to start something new. Starting something new can feel big and scary and lead to the dreaded information overload. However, there is a bona fide, guaranteed way to start something new with zero stress. Here's the hotshot's secret to starting something new. All we've got to do is break it down and keep these three questions in mind. What are you curious about? Why are you interested? How do you do it? Let's use our big brains to evaluate these queries one at a time. What are you curious about? As an example, let's say you discovered a new sport and want to learn more about it. First of all, congratulations, because sports are awesome.
Sports.
Now,
it's in the game.
Are you interested in watching, participating, or both? If you have a general idea of where you want to end up, it can be much easier to work backwards and identify a path to progress towards our goal. If you plan to start something, you've got to have an idea of where you want to end up. Why are you interested? Are you interested because it's popular? Because all your friends are doing it? Or because you find something about that new topic magnetic and it's just pulling you in? The whole point of having hobbies like playing video games, reading books, or playing sports is to have fun and enjoy yourself. So if you don't find something fascinating about the new subject, it might not fit your vibe. How do you do it? Let's say you're curious about flying airplanes, but you haven't really done too much research yet. You could certainly go to school and train to learn more, or you could watch videos, you could download flight simulators, and see if you find any part of that experience enjoyable. Although it doesn't always feel or seem like it, there is never just one path you have to march down to reach an end goal. Every pilot who has ever soared through the sky had a day where they were your age, or maybe even my age, where they thought, how do I do that? Let me learn more. Here is my greatest secret to starting something new. Approach any subject we know nothing about with these three questions in mind. What are you curious about? Why are you interested in learning more? How do you do it? I keep these questions in mind whenever I try or start anything new. A new hobby, a new job, a new workout, or even when I try to make a new recipe. Speaking of recipes, my tummy is feeling a little rumbly. So let's head to La Cocina because I could use a snack. La Cocina, aka the kitchen, is a place I avoided for years. Both my culinary skills and nutritional knowledge were at zero for too many decades. But have no fear, hotshots. Mr. Gabe is here to help you level up your big brains inside the kitchen. Here's something for you to think about. What is your favorite snack? Do you like something that's chewy, salty, crunchy, or sweet? We all have different predilections for the flavors we like, and believe it or not, those preferences will change as we live and grow. Personally, I love all snacks, whether they are sweet, sour, salty, or crunchy. It doesn't matter as long as they are delicioso on my taste buds. However, all snacks are not created equally. We have got to ensure we are consuming foods which not only taste great, but are packed with nutrients to help us stay full between meals and ensure our bodies can keep running like a machine. Just like when we start anything new, there are count them, three questions I ask myself whenever I'm going to choose a new snack.
1.
What is it made out of?
2.
Have I been drinking enough water?
3.
How does it make me feel? Let's take these 3 inquiries and break it down. What is it made out of? I enjoy eating raw foods, such as dried meat, dried fruit, or nuts and seeds as my snacks. Whenever I look at an ingredient list and I see something that's a mile long with tons of scientifically sounding words, or I check a nutritional label and I see tons of added sugar or sodium, I tend to turn around and keep looking for a new snack. Have I been drinking enough water? It's very important to remember we need to be both hydrated and consume nutritious and delicious foods to ensure our bodies can keep running like a machine. If you're able, carry a reusable water bottle and sip on that glorious H2O throughout the day. That way you'll be both a card and bottle carrying member of the Hydration Nation. How does it make me feel? Keep in mind how all the food and drinks we consume throughout the day make us feel when we're out running, studying, playing, or doing pretty much anything else. Just like your car needs gasoline, petrol, or electricity to run, your body needs food and drinks to both repair and grow. If you put the wrong type of fuel in your car, there's a good chance you could run into some issues. The same thing can happen if we put the wrong type of fuel in our bodies too frequently, so think before and after you chow down. When we start to think about the foods we should consume as healthy snacks, there are so many factors to consider. What's your budget? Where you live? What you have access to? Do you need to refrigerate it? What can you carry? It can feel like information overload. However, if we follow just a handful of simple rules, such as focusing on eating whole foods, avoiding anything with added sugar, salt, or sodium, and we ensure the ingredient list only contains whole foods and no artificial sweeteners, then not only are we putting the best possible fuel in our bodies, so we're feeling happy, healthy, and strong, but we're also snacking like a real certified hotshot. We'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you in part by Dunco, the does not exist company, which doesn't make anything because it does not exist. Has this ever happened to you? You see an activity which looks cool, interesting, and fun, but it's complicated and just looks like a lot? Do you find yourself struggling to try new hobbies or sports because they just seem too hard or complex? Have you ever ignored your heart because your brain told you something would be too difficult or complicated to even start? If you don't know where to start a new hobby, look no further than the latest innovation in commencement and beginning technology from Dunco, the Try Hard Towel, patent pending. After just a couple spins, secure the Try Hard Towel around your shoulders and you'll be ready to try a minimum of 1 new thing a day. If you want to broaden your horizons, lock in the Try Hard Towel and you'll be ready to square up against a new book. If you want to expand your palate, whip out the Try Hard Towel as you reach for a new snack and you'll be ready to wash your hands or spit it out. The Try Hard Towel is so versatile. Reading a new book once a month. Trying a new form of exercise once a week. Sampling a new fruit or vegetable every day. Establishing a new habit such as going to bed or waking up earlier. The Try Hard Towel can help you do it all. Not only will the Try Hard Towel help you try and learn more about yourself, but it has a secondary function called blocking out the noise, which can help you focus on learning while drowning out any naysayers. For today only, pick up the nearest clean towel you own, give it a spin, and no one will know if you're using an authentic Dunco Try Hard Towel or not. Remember, just because you don't pick something up quickly doesn't mean you won't have fun doing it or pick it up eventually. This advertisement was paid for by Dunco, the does not exist company, which doesn't make anything because it does not exist.
Thanks for sticking around after that brief intermission. Tell me, Hotshot, what is your favorite word? Maybe it's something that you love to say and pronounce, or perhaps it's a word where you love the definition. For me, movement is quite possibly my favorite word in the English language that I have learned so far. Today, I'd like to share my favorite form of movement with you Hotshots, which is the perfect way to kick off your journey on the road to Gainesville. Allow me to demonstrate my favorite form of movement. In case you were unable to decipher what I was doing due to my lightning quick speed, my favorite form of movement is walking. Walking can be very easy for some people, and because of that, it's very easy to take it for granted. But walking is real high-grade hotshot type stuff. It can be a form of movement, a form of exercise, a form of exploration, transportation, or even just a great way to clear your head and find some peace. Every day I'm able to, I like to go for a walk, and I call that Mr. Gabe time. And I recommend you go for a walk and get some time to yourself as well. You can go alone and think about all the things you want to do and that you enjoy. Or you can go with a family member or a friend and you guys can talk, or you can just silently walk and enjoy one another's company. Here's a real big brain hotshot maneuver. You can go for a walk and listen to an audiobook. And as far as I'm concerned, that's getting a 3, count it 3 for 1 deal. Because I get to be outside, I get to listen to a cool story, and I get to do my favorite form of movement, walking. If you want to walk like a real hotshot, here's what I recommend you do. First, if you're going to be outdoors, you want to put on copious amounts of sunscreen. We've got to protect our bodies if we want to be healthy. Next, you want to put on the right clothes for the climate that you live in. Then you want to put on a nice pair of sneakers, go outside, and go for a walk. You want to make sure your shoulders are back and your head is held high. Not only do we want to maintain good posture, but you should be proud that you're doing something for you. You can bring your headphones and listen to something. You can give someone a call and just say hello, or you can just listen to all the sounds of the environment that you're walking in, which admittedly is always a great idea. You can walk for a set amount of time, like 15, 30, 45, or 60 minutes. Or you can walk for a set distance, like a few blocks, a half mile, or even a full mile or more if you're comfortable. You can go by yourself, but if you can go with a friend or family member, well, that's even better. Movement is essential to life, and there are so many different types of forms that I guarantee you will find one that you love. You've just got to be willing to try and start something new. Another thing that's essential to life, in my humble opinion, is art. So let's move to the lab where we can discuss how to start your journey in the musical arts. In my humble opinion, music is one of the best things humanity has ever created. The great thing about music is that it sounds different to every single human being. There are countless instruments and genres and cultural influences. So the possibilities of what human beings can create in the musical arts are practically endless. Whether your end goal is to be a bass-dropping producer or to just play the piano or keyboard quietly in your bedroom with headphones, if you want to develop your musical chops, you've got a long road ahead of you. You've got to learn how to read music, how to play your instrument of choice, how to keep time, and probably a bunch of other stuff. I'm not really sure because Mr. Gabe is not particularly musically inclined. Music instruments and software can get very pricey and typically have a steep learning curve. But one of these little magic makers can help you develop the fundamental skills in the musical arts, a recorder. Now you may wonder how one of these will help you master the drums or shred on guitars, but it's all about knowing where to start. Regardless of instrument, you've got to develop your ear and your timing, and of course, you've got to learn how to read sheet music. Taking the time to grind out those foundational skills with something relatively small and affordable like a recorder is a great way to level up your translatable skills in the musical arts. If you're interested in music, there is no better instrument to take your first step with than a recorder. It may have been a few decades since I've picked one of these up regularly, but I'll never forget learning how to play this song in 2nd grade. Whenever you're scrolling social media, it's important to bear in mind that you're only seeing the finished result. It's easy to forget how much time and effort goes into learning, practicing, and developing our abilities to get them to a point where we feel satisfied and confident, especially when it's something that you're passionate about and want to do very well. We should always be willing to start something new, especially if we find something about that subject magnetic and intriguing. Every basketball player had a day one, where they had to learn how to dribble. And every musician had a day one where they first developed interest in keeping rhythm. So find something you're interested in and start your journey. As our first day here at the Big Brain Hotshot Show begins to wind down, allow me to say, the most valuable resource any human being has is time. And I appreciate that you've decided to spend some of yours with me today. As a reminder, our word of the day is start. And today we discussed how we can begin so many new things. We kicked today off with my sharing my super secret patented methodology for beginning anything new. While it can be intimidating to try something new, like diving into a new hobby or playing a new sport, so long as we break it down, we can avoid the dreaded information overload. All you've got to do is keep these count them, three questions in mind whenever you want to start something new.
1.
What are you curious about?
2.
Why are you interested?
3.
How do you do it? I keep these questions in mind to help me lock in and focus on my specific goal. Saying I want to play music, as an example, is a beautiful goal, but it's also kind of vague and can lead to analysis paralysis, aka information overload, when trying to find a starting point. This is why it's important for us to be able to identify what we're curious about. And sometimes the best thing we can do is just learn a little more to determine if we even want to continue with something. Once we dropped the flying elbow on learning, we moved on to snacking. We discussed how real big brain hotshots choose healthy snacks to help keep our bodies running like a lean, mean, certified machine. All we have to do is keep some simple guidelines in the back of our mind, such as focusing on eating whole foods, avoiding anything with added sugar, salt, or sodium, ensuring the ingredient list only contains whole and natural foods and no artificial sweeteners. And next thing you know, you'll be snacking like a real hotshot. After we fueled up with healthy snacks, we headed to the gym to get some movement in. I shared my favorite form of movement, walking. And while it's easy to overlook, it's my favorite because it's so versatile. It can be a form of transportation, exploration, exercise, or just a great way to get outside and clear your head and find some peace. Following our hotshot moves, we discussed an activity based in the musical arts. If you have any interest in music, a recorder is a great place to begin. You've got to walk before you can run, and you've got to learn the basics before you can join the orchestra, shred on guitars, or really drop the bass. Dreams become plans once we identify the steps to make them happen. Once we put those plans into action, you're one step closer to making your dreams a reality. It doesn't matter where you want to end up. The best thing you can do is have an idea of where to start. You are a big brain hotshot, which means you do your best every single time. You think critically and you prioritize being happy, healthy, and kind. Remember, if you're genuinely putting forth your best effort with everything you have going on, well, that's the best anyone can do. I humbly thank you for your time. And if you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. And if you don't, well, you get what you pay for. But either way, I'll see you next time, Big Brain Hotshot.